One and all, myself, Vijay Datarao Kole, Head of Department Dairy Technology. I welcome to all of you for the webinar on food laws, regulations, and Indian judiciary. First of all, I wish you all a happy Teachers' Day and specially salute to those teachers who have been continuing their services during this pandemic undermines of COVID-19. We have organized this webinar on the eve of Teachers' Day and the celebration of National Nutritional Week from 1st June, 1st September to 7th September. Now, I would like to introduce today's most eminent speakers. First, Dr. Kulkarni sir is the eminent scientist in the field of food safety quality assurance. Sir has having more than 35 years of experience in the quality assurance. Sir has worked with the former general managers, quality assurance, Reliance Industries Limited. He had worked there around 15 years. However, Kulkarni sir has worked with Venkateshwara Hatcheries, Venkis, from 1985 to 2006 as an assistant general manager, quality assurance. Sir, basically from the veterinary field. Respected sir, I welcome you in the webinar organized by Parul University. Our second expert is Dr. Kalpesh Kumar Gupta. He is a law teacher and researcher. He is having more than 16 years of experience in academic, research and industries. He worked as an associate in business policy area at Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad for 5 years. He also worked as an assistant professor at Gujarat National Law University, Gandhinagar, and GNLU, Legal Incubation Council, GLIC, Gandhinagar, which is the India's first legal incubation center. And sir is the pioneer person and his contribution made to establish this legal startup. Presently, the Dr. Kalpesh Kumar sir is working with the Parul University as associate professor at law. Welcome, Kalpesh sir. And now I deliver this session, I hand over this session to the Kalpesh Kumar sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for inviting me and for the kind introduction. So let me start with the presentation. Okay. I hope screen is visible, sir. Screen is visible, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good afternoon to all of you and happy Teachers' Day. So today I'll be talking about some food laws, regulation, and dealing with some cases and news related to food laws in India. So let me begin with this is the outline of my presentation. I'll be talking about the brief introduction part and some important provision of Food Safety Standard Act 2006 and some of the recent scenario cases and the news related to food laws in India. So just look at this. This is a snapshot timeline of food laws in India. It started from 1937. There's a committee appointed as a Central Advisory Board of Health, and the major act you can call 1955. It's called Prevention of Food Adulteration Bill was passed, and it became an act in 1955. And there's in 1998 there's a subject group was established 2004, and the 2005 you can see the Standing Committee of Parliament on Agriculture submitted integrated food laws, and later on it given to the Law Commission of India their comments in 2005, and the 2006 that act we are having right now we can witness. So it came into force like 2007, 8 and 9. So the understanding like some acts like entirely come into effect, or sometimes some provision, some chapter come into effect at some point of time. So you can see it came to force some part like in the installment I would say in 2007, 8 and 9. So there are various food laws and items in India. So you can see there are different acts, vegetables related to meat, edible oils, milk, fruits. There are different, even 7 laws were there. So in this act, right after this act, Food Safety Standard Act 2006, this all 7 laws were repealed because of this act. So this is the authority, Food Safety Standard Authority of India, set up under the FSSA Act 2006, right? And there is a Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It's the implementing ministry for this Act, 2006 Act. So I will dealing with the brief provision of this act. So major objective of this act is to consolidate all the laws, right? As you've seen earlier, so different laws were there related to meat and the milk and the edible oils, all, but they were consolidated, and then we are having this 2006 act. And the second thing, to establish the Food Safety Standard Authority of India Act, that taking care of all food related thing in India. And this act came to effect in the 2006. It's been 14 years as of now. So these are the some important terms under this act. So it really one of the, let me tell you, this is one of the comprehensive act in India, right? One of the comprehensive, because if you see some of the acts in different scattered law, example, you can see there are many labor laws for India now recently codified and put up into 4 buckets. So here you can see it talks about the unsafe foods, substandard foods, misbranded food, right? Different kind of terminology they have used, classified and defined under this act, and talks about the adulterant, contaminant, food. Again, food is not related to, it's extensively defined under this act. I'm not dealing right now. This for understanding. I'm giving you the just a keyword of this definition. Food additives, again, typical ingredients of the food. Again, different kind of, because food preparation we require additives, and the food business and food business operator. This is very much important for under this act. The food business, again, related to various kind of food business and related to catering also, like hotels also, they are also covered under this act because they are related to food. And the most important thing, you can't say this is for the profit and the not profit also. I will give the example in the later part of my presentation, like like Tamil, this Tirupati temple, right? They also required to get the license and from the FSSAI. So they can't say we are into non-profit organizations, so we are not required to register under FSSAI. The answer is no. They are also required to register under this act. And the food business operator, it's a umbrella definition, I would say. Nobody can say I went to this business, vegetable or packing or retailer. No, every kind of business, right? They are operator related to food, so they are covered under this definition of food business operator. And there is a food safety also defined, accepted for human consumption. These are the keywords I have put up, not defined extensively as of now. And also talks about the some started food and the unsafe food. So let's move further. So section 4 talks about the establishment of FSSAI, right? So let me tell you, like because of, we should thanks to Maggie case, right, happened in 2015. Because of that case, we come to know almost on all of us, I would say. I've been studying for last 1 decade regarding this act because it came in 2006. But most of the people, they came to know about this act after the Maggie issue. Okay, there is a authority called FSSAI. There is a law 2006. Is there in India. So thanks to Maggie case. So we'll deal with that case in the later part of my presentation. So section 4 talks about the establishment of FSSAI. The head office will be at New Delhi, and there will be different offices well across the India, like and most of the capital of the particular state. And you can see the structure, like there will be a chairperson and 22 members will be there. Out of that, 1/3 will be the woman. Term is for 3 years, and there will be a CEO, right, Chief Executive Officer, to see the day-to-day activities of Food Authority. So this is the snapshot of the structure under the FSSAI. So there is a Central Advisory Committee and set up the advising FSSAI. There's a CEO, scientific panels, and scientific committee related to the main authority. At the state level, there is a State Food Safety Authority. Right? Every state there is a State Food Safety Authority, and there will be a Commissioner of Food Safety and the designated officer and the Food Safety Officer. So there's a hierarchy. There is a Commissioner of Food Safety under that designated officer, and the Food Safety Officer will be there. And obviously, for the food analysis, there is a food analyst set up under Section 45 of this Act. So this is the function of authorities to regulate, monitor, right? Not only manufacturing, right? Keep this thing in mind. Not manufacturing. It's not about talk about the processing, distribution, sale, import of food to ensure a safe and wholesome of food, right? and also provide the scientific advice and technical support to the central government. So these are the major function of food authority, not relating to restricted to only manufacturing. It covers variety of things related to food. So restriction of unfair trade practices. So regarding the no advertisement, it's a very wide definition given under the Consumer Protection Act also. So no advertisement will be misleading or deceiving the provision of this act or rule regulation. So it's strictly banned under this section. Now, responsibility of food business operator. Don't telling okay, food, use this word FPO. We are talking about the food safety in India. So every food business operator said the article of food to satisfy the requirement of this act and the rules and regulations. And there is a separate liability for the manufacturers, packers given under section 27, and the distributors and sellers also separate. We see different regulations are there. As I'm telling you, it is one of the efficient the ministry or mechanism system in the India, right, compared to the previous one. So if we see for each thing, right, there is a rules and regulations are made under this act. This is very important, the provision, the food recall procedure. You can see the definition in the bottom. What is food recall? Means the action of removing food from the market at any stage of food chain, including purchased by the consumer. Not from the wholesaler, retailer, or the shops, or right, but from the consumer to recall, it's also included in that definition. So regarding food recall, you need to initiate process for recall if food is not a compliance of the act or immediately from the complaint authority, and the food business operator will follow the guidelines related to food. So again, you can see there is a regulation 2017 regarding the food recall procedure. So all procedure also given. Authority responsible for act, again we have seen foods authority and the state level authority, they are responsible for the enforcement of this act. Section 13, every state there will be a commissioner of food safety. We'll see the example from the Gujarat itself. So you can see now website of FSSAI, you can check it later on. It's extensive website, see the different regulations are there, different every time notification comes. So very effective in the this authority, I would say, compared to the other one. So this example I have given, there are authorities set up at the state level. You can see the Goa, Gujarat, Haryana. This is for your understanding I have given. Now, licensing of the registration of food business operator. Now, every food business operator, they are required to get the license from the authority. It's not applicable to petty manufacturer. So you can see the definition of petty manufacturer like hawkers and the vendors, or the food distribution at the social gathering in the small amount. If in larger amount, as I told you, like Tirupati temple, they required to get the license from the FSSAI. And so you can see the threshold limit they have set regarding the slaughterhouse and the milk, the production level, and the small scale business cottages. So they are not, they are exempted from registration offer under this act. So now this online facility for getting the registration under the FSSAI. So this is regarding central the registration. So if you can see, there's a threshold limit is also given regarding dairy products, slaughtering house, meat processing units, right? And you can right side you can see the threshold limit is given, and the storage facility also, as I told you, it's not related to manufacturing. It's a very extensive wholesaler, retailer, storage, cold, refrigerated, and controlled atmosphere, and then accept different kind of distributor. You can see there at the end, they are also part of. They are also required to get a register under this act. Notification of food poisoning, again very serious issue. You might have heard or seen in the newspaper regarding food poisoning at various point of time in various states. So food authority by notification require registered medical practitioner to report all kind of food poisoning at in the periodical basis. So there will be a designated officer will be there. So as I told you, there will be a commissioner of food safety, designated officer, and a food safety officer. So that is the hierarchy. So it's a role, you can see it's in between commissioner of food safety and the food safety officer. So commissioner of food safety appoint a designated officer of each district. Sometimes you will see it's a civil surgeon of the government hospital. So you can see the what are the functions. So it will issue a cancer or license of food business operator, prohibit the sale of any article, recommendation to Commissioner of Food Safety, maintain all kind of records. So these are the function of the designated officer. So this is an example. You can see the certificate given by FSSAI. So you can see the food officer is a civil surgeon in the Bhatinda. in the Punjab. For example, you can see the food civil surgeon has appointed as a food safety officer in the Batinda. Okay, so 37, as I told you, the major, the powers, the function or duty of the food safety officer is to go and to take the samples. It's at the periodical at the time, right? As assigned by the Commissioner of Food Safety, the periodically of assign, okay, every third month, 6 months, they are required to go for the, take the sample and get it analyzed from the food analyst as set up under this act. So this is regarding food safety officer, and they play a crucial role in this mechanism. This is the example. You can see the structure. There is a food safety officer, designated officer, commissioner of food safety, and the state food safety authority, and there are food analysis setup. So this example I have given from the Gujarat, and then the Surat. There is a food safety officer. Office is at Surat, and there is a designated officer, Food Drug and Control Administration, Surat Municipal Corporation, and there is the Office of Commissioner of Food Safety and the State Food Authority at the Gandhinagar. So the example from the Gujarat side I have given. So now this is a very crucial point, like liability of food safety officer. So 2 points, major points are there. If we vexatiously and without any reasonable ground seize any article or adulterant, or like you can say in language harassing, right? For the harassment, he is taking sample or do such kind of activities. So he can be penalized up to the 1 lakh rupees. First thing. Now, second part, you can see that at the end, if there is a false complaint, if the food business operator can make a false complaint against the food safety officer, then will be liable for the fine. It may vary from 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees. So now this is very good. The provision as a purchaser. For example, I have purchased some eatables from like sweet shop, right? And I want that sweet to be analyzed for the analysis. So at that time, I will inform that food business operator, okay, I'm taking this sample, right, and for the analysis purpose, right, and then I will give it to food analyst set up under this act. And now we can see the second para. If it's not, the food is not the compliance with the act, right, and then purchaser will, because purchaser is go for the food analysis, so he or she will be make the payment for the analysis. Second thing, first thing, the food is not found in the compliance with this act, right, and then purchase, in that case, purchaser shall be entitled to get the refund of that, right. A third thing, if there is a contravention of provision, right, that food analyst directly report to the designated officer, right, for the prosecution. We see the structure, and then you can see the procedure of launching prosecution. We'll see the flow in a while. So food safety officer shall be responsible for inspection of food, right, and will report to designated officer, and the designated officer will decide the in consultation with the commissioner of food safety. So this is the crux of this right, prosecution system. So you can see the food analysis there. So purchase sample directly he will send report to designated officer. Second part, food safety officer also goes on the field and take the sample and report to designated officer, right. Two-way reporting is there for the designated officer. Now designated officer will report to commissioner of food safety in the city, right, and then commissioner of food safety will decide, right, it will take a decision to launch a prosecution. So that's the whole mechanism regarding the cases in the Food Safety Act. Now you can see different kind of, as I told you, it's extensive provision is there. So regarding substandard food, the penalty is up to the 5 lakh rupees. Misleading advertisement, yes, this is very much important provision. So all of you might have seen some of the advertisement like Bonvita and Compline. Okay, if you take and then your height will be increased in few years, few months. So there are the claims made by the companies. Some of the oil, the companies, okay, double refined, triple refined, that kind of claims are made by the companies. Now, for few, many, like I would say, last, I have not seen this kind of ad like recently, or same thing for you also, because of the strictness in the law, right? Strict implementation. If you are not able, if you are failed to do so, right? So then again, there is a penalty of up to 10 lakh rupees. So falsely you describe any food is likely to mislead, or nature of substance or quality of any food gives a false guarantee, and then you'll be liable. Now we have advertising standard council of India. So the FSSAI also asked, right, and suggested to report all kind of these activities to FSSAI. To this FSSAI has given the mandated as a advertising standard council of India to report this kind of advertisement to the FSSAI. So that way, I have not seen the ads, as I told you, the couple of example I have given. So same thing, right? You will see. So again, there's strict provisions are there under this act for the misleading advertisement. Unhygienic, unsanitary manufacturing of foods. Again, penalties up to 1 lakh rupees. Penalty for possessing adulterants. Again, different criteria is there. If it not injuries to health, the penalty is not exceeding 2 lakh rupees. Injuries to health, penalty not exceeding 10 lakh rupees. So right, and lastly you can see now, if you are in possession of this adulterant, right, so you can't take the defense, I am holding this adulterant on behalf of someone else, right? You can't take that defense. So you, right, you are in possession of adulterant, you will be penalized under this section. Punishment of unsafe food, right? Again, see, does not result in different they have given, does not result in injury, non-grievous injury, grievous injury, or death, right? So you can see the different provision like imprisonment and fine. So in that you can see it's a 7 year imprisonment that can extend to and then fine not less than 10 lakh rupees, and the grievous injury different kind of imprisonment, and the fine is given. And the subsequent offense you are repeating, so punishment will be twice, and every day 1 lakh rupees will be imposed upon you, and obviously your license will be cancelled. Compensation in case of injury, again, like fine penalty will go to government treasury, right? But what about you who have like the person who have suffered because of the contravention of the provision of this act? So for them there is a provision of compensation. So in case of that, it will, shall not be less than 5 lakh rupees. In case of grievous injury, not exceeding 3 lakh rupees, and in injury not exceeding 1 lakh rupees. So this compensation mechanism is given under this section. Adjudication, again, this is regarding case matters. It will be handled by not below the rank of additional district magistrate of the district where the alleged offence is committed. It will be notified by the state government, who would be the adjudicating officer. And there is a food safety appellate tribunal. For your understanding, for the layman, tribunal is again the quasi-judicial body. They are not complete court. For example, we have National Green Tribunal, Industrial Tribunal. So different kind of tribunals are there for the specific, the special, the act and cases. So we have a food safety appellate tribunal for the taking care of. It will hear the appeal against the order of the adjudicating officer. So this is the example I have given you. There's a food safety appellate tribunal at Jaipur. There's also provision of special court and public prosecutors under this section 74, and power to transfer cases to regular courts is also there under this section. Appeal, right, against the order of special court to high court in the 45 days you are required to appeal, and it won't be uh, heard by not less than two judges. So this is a snapshot of case flow. There will be adjudication will be there in the cases handling, and then there is a special court, regular court, and in between you can see the food safety tribunal. So majorly, like, I have not seen or heard about special court. Regular court obviously is there, so you can transfer to the civil court maybe. But we have a food safety tribunal. You go to food safety tribunal, and then ultimately you can appeal to high court. So now you might have seen this kind of brown and green label. There are regulations, packaging labeling regulations are there. Settlement 2011 regarding. So there was mandated what is the size of diameter of that particular sign. This regarding non-veg and veg signs, brown and green color. And you might have seen in packaging, right? I don't know how many of see when I will keep checking the packages whenever I buy something from shops or any places, right? So you might have seen the been best before or used by dates. This really terms this matters, right? This is a serious concern. Kulkarni sir will discuss in his presentation. So this is also again regulation, packaging labeling regulation 2011. So again, you can see the packaged drinking water, natural mineral water, crush the bottle after use. So all are mandated. It's mandated under the regulation 2011. Now we can see regarding this is I will dealing with the some cases and news. So these are the action taken against the misleading advertisement. Fine was upon again the people like this exaggeration in the quality. The companies will not use edible oil as a super refined or extra refined, double refined, ultra refined, cholesterol friendly. So this kind of and you can do it, right. But if you are not substantiate your argument, then you will be penalized under section 53, and the penalty can be imposed up to the 10 lakh rupees. Now, regarding the labs, right? So there are shortage of labs. Let me tell you, like few years back, there's a I'm from Surat, so there's a news article And then headlines for there are only 10 food safety officer and for the Surat population. You can see the Surat is a mega city and only 10 food safety officers are there. And whatever samples, right? So they used to send to Vadodara for the analysis. So that's why again is to take, you are taking sample and sending to the Vadodara laboratory, and takes a lot of time. So again it creates a lot of issues while prosecution. That same thing happened in the Maggie case also, that will be dealing in the while. So regarding like some of the news, let me see this one. The FSSAI bans a carcinogenic additive potassium bromate in bread. Right? You might have seen this is a headline also in bread. Again, a lot of issues are there regarding. So CSC Center for Study had found that 80% of 38 commonly available brands of pre-packaged breads, including pav and buns, tested positive for the potassium bromate, right? And the potassium iodate. So these kind of additives are included. These are again injurious to health, or you can see it is hazardous for the public health. Now, look at this. A recent couple of the headlines. So it's a deadline to display best before MFC date for loose sweet extended till October 1. So you might have gone to sweet shop, right? They just pack and give it to you. There is no, nothing is written like best before manufacturing date. Nothing is written on that sweet box. And then recent on August 25th, you can see FSSAI moves to stop use of word milk or non-dairy products. Milk ingredient is not there in that particular product, and then you are using, the milk or the milk related word in that part. So it's again there are asked to stop this kind of the usage of this word. Now you can see I have not come across implementation of this regulation. So the FSSAI framed the food safety and standard safe food and healthy diet for school children regulation 2019. So now we can see no junk food or high in fat, salt or sugar. You can call it HFSS. Foods can be served in the school cafeterias, midday meals or hostels. But I don't, and it bans sale or marketing of junk food inside a school within 50 meters of school campuses. I have not seen the implementation of this regulation so far. So there are many regulations like smoking is also there, and you know how it is being implemented. Same way, I don't know about this one. But let's hope this may be implemented in the schools and around the area. So this is regarding Maggie case. It was, as I told you, because of Maggie, many people will came to know about this FSSAI. There's a law called right 2006 Act is there. So again, it was a lot of losses to Maggie. Again, it was found that MSG was found, lead was found in the Maggie, and you can see at the end there is a the the, the, the criteria is given. What should be the content will be there like cadmium, lead, and arsenic. At the end, you can see FSSAI limits in cadmium. Cadmium is there less than 1.5, lead 2.5, and 1.5. So samples contained 70.2 parts per million in Maggie, right? And many times the allowable limit, which ranges from 0.01 to 2.5 ppm, means parts per million. So they crossed in Maggie. It was found 17.2 ppm. So that was an issue. In 1 ppm it's equal to 1 mg. For your understanding, I have given. So again, the case I'll be dealing with like Maggie case. The food safety officer in Barabanki, he went and took the sample, and this is the case, right, regarding Maggie. Then Nestle India Limited versus Food Safety Standard FSSAI, and then Chief Executive Officer FSSAI. So this is a writ petition filed in 2015, and there are a lot of flaws on the part of the authority, and now everybody's having Maggie, right? So there is nothing has happened to Maggie. So you can see the court held that the food FSSAI had acted in the arbitrary manner when it's banned the Maggie noodles. Regulator will now have to justify its ban, conducting fresh tests, failing which Nestle could return Maggie to sales. So obviously it's there. So again, these are the points. I will take 1 minute for discussion. Otherwise, it will take 1 hour to discuss this particular case. So again, the writ petition was filed. So these are the issues involved in this particular case. So writ petition was filed under Article 226 in the High Court, whether it will be maintainable or not, but it was allowed, right? And the point number 6, you can see, like for example, there is a issue is there. They called that officer from the Maggie, and I listened to him. Next day, there was a ban. So again, the company was not given an opportunity, right? it's a principle of natural justice means you have to hear the both the parties, right? You have to take the hear right, give the opportunity to other party to put their all the submission, and then you have to take decision. That was not given, right? And there was a flaws in the regarding testing of sample and reporting. And point 9 number, you can see whether the reliance can be put up on the petitioner owned laboratory report, right? And then the last one you can see there were 9 variants in the Maggie, right? Masala Maggie, Atta Maggie, different kind of the variants were there, and only they conducted test on the 3 variants, right? And they imposed a ban on the entire Maggie range. So whether it was justifiable, so there are a lot of flaws in these prosecutions, and because of that we can see uh, Maggie is there and still matter is pending in like Supreme Court. Now look at this in this matter, like Patanjali defends Amla juice, said it's a medicinal product. Again, a lot of issues are there regarding this. Some products, right, you will see, okay, whether it should be go for like drug control or you should go to FSSAI. So these are the issues are there. A recent one, let me discuss this thing. So 2 days back, my son was not feeling well. My wife went to hospital, and then the doctor prescribed this one, Mecatotal. Now, yesterday, day before yesterday, I saw on the bottle. Now I saw the FSCCI, right? So now you'll be confused whether you'll go, the drug control will be taking care of this thing or FSCCI. Then I saw the content also. Some of the content were artificial, like vanilla and American ice cream is included in this syrup. So again, this matter what are the contents are there, and then according to you are required to get the yourself register in the FSCCI. Now, as I told you regarding this Tirupati, this like Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, TTD, right? Tirupati temple. So they got the notice, and let me tell you, one of the RTI right information activists made a complaint because the people who were involved in the making this laddu, which was the process was not hygienic. They were half naked, and sweating is going on. So that kind of it was not hygienic. So we made a complaint, and FSSAI took the cognizance, and then September 2017, say they got the food safety licensing license. So again, there is a PIL filed for the food adulteration, and the law commission also asked to amend the law in 2017. The criminal law amendment bill 2017 is there. So you can see that there is a provision. So you need to connect with other act also regarding. You can see the provision on IPC. It's regarding adulteration of food and drink, and the sale of noxious food or drink. So 273 talks about those things. So these are the some samples taken. If you see issues are there, let me conclude in 1 minute. So if you see the different report, I have seen the report 12, 13, and 14, 15, and then various other reports. So if you see the various less, samples are taken because of food safety officers are not there. So that's the issue that once predictable go, as I told you, gave the example in Surat, only 10 food safety officer, how it will address the the lacks of people in the city. That was the issue. So these are major concerns, and you can see the conviction rates are also very low because of the shortage of food safety officer, laboratories, and other mechanisms. So these are the issue. So this is from and from my side. Happy to take questions. Okay, thank you very much. Vijay sir, over to you.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Uh, yes, sir. So now I request to Dr. Kulkarni, sir. Please start your.
Yeah, so I'm uploading sir's presentation in a while.
Okay, okay.
Hello. Hello. I'm audible? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, sir. You're audible, sir. You're audible, sir. Yeah, I have uploaded your presentation, sir. Please have a look at it.
Hello. Kalpesh, I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay.
You're audible.
Uh, okay. Good afternoon to everybody. I'm thankful to. Good afternoon to everybody, and the opportunity to have a presentation on this webinar. So, um, many of the points has taken care by Sri Gupta ji. So I'm just giving my overview on my experience in the field with the Venkateshwara Hatcheries as well as Reliance Retail. So to start with, now FSSSI is the law. Whenever you are producing, you are selling, you are distributing, you are transporting any of the food articles, or you are importing the food articles, the FSSI come in picture. So when FSSAI is there, the law is there, somebody has to be there for the implementation. Somebody has to be there for the checking. So the food inspector will come in picture. Next slide, please.
Yes, sir, I have done.
So the thing is that who is the food inspector? The food inspector is a person or is an official person who is appointed by central government of the state government of state government. So, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can listen to you.
Next. So, whenever any government, what will be the qualification? Because he must know that what is a food. So he can be a medical officer in charge of health administration in the local area. He can be a medical graduate, but he will go on the training for the food inspection and the sampling work, and or be a graduate in the science, chemistry, or agriculture and public health and pharmacy, veterinary sciences, or food technology or dairy technology from the any of this university. Next, please. So the food inspector is a person who knows the uh, food science and food details itself. So when what will be the powers of a food inspector? Because as a FSSI person of central or state government, he may visit your premises is in manufacturing or in selling. So what are the powers for him? So some points Kalpesh ji has also taken care of. So but some just to add that he can take the samples for any person who is selling the food articles. He can take the samples and send it for the public analysis in the local area for any of this adulteration, any of this chemical, microbiological, physical analysis. He can prohibit the sale of any of the food articles which can be a problematic for the public health or in the package. He can break open the food package or the premises and he can take the samples and he can check the samples. Next please. So these are the different powers uh, of the food inspector. He can also enter or inspect any places where any food articles is manufactured, stored, transported, sell, or exposed or exhibited for the sale, or where the adulterant can be manufactured or kept as a sample, and such food articles and adulterants he can take it for analysis. Or if there is a problem, or he thinks that if it is a health problem or it can create a health problem for the public health, he can also seize the product or any misuse misbranded products are there, then he can also seize the product and can keep it under custody. If the misbranding means if some product is having any of those traces of a non-veg food in the veg food, and if it is a misbranded as a veg, then he can also seize the product and he can keep it under his premises. Next, please. So these are some of the powers of the inspector. But what are the duties as also for the inspector? What he does? What is a natural in office duties? He inspect the frequently the establishment of license for the licensed manufacturers, where the storage of the food is done, or where the sale of the food is done, where the distribution of the food is done. He can procure the samples and send for analysis for any suspect as a suspect being manufactured, stock, or sale for exhibit. If he thinks that, if it is, for example, he's visiting the milk manufacturing unit or the milk all dairy unit. If he thinks that it is milk adulterated, he can take the sample and send it for analysis for adulteration. He can investigate the complaint made by any of the public and respect to any contravention and provision under this act or the rule. Next, please. So these are some of the duties of the food inspector. He also maintains the record whenever he is going for the inspection of this food license. Uh, License. He keep the record of inspection, what are action he has taken, what samples he has taken, what is the seizure has done, what samples he has sent it for the analysis, that all the documentation and the records he keep it with himself to make inquiries on the inspection of the manufacturing, storage, sale, or transport of the food article as per the provision. FSSAI also comes in the legality for the food transporter also. So it is manufacturing, selling, importing, as well as for the transportation of the food. If you are transporting any of the food articles with any of the vehicle, reefer vehicle or normal vehicle or insulated vehicle, that also comes under this particular law. So any of the food transport vehicle with sale of delivery for the women consumption. Next, please. So these are some of the duties and powers of the food inspector. So food inspector is one of the integral part of the FSSAI and the food business operator. It can be, he can come, he can inspect the things, he can check the licenses, he can take the samples, he can send it for analysis, and he's one of the integral and important part. So when I was in the industry, so what I have seen that these are there are many n number of things where the problem can be there, but these are some of the major things we can come across. This like common problems in the food business with the FBOs, that is food business operator. That is fresh produce milk is a sale after use by date, fungus in the pack, weavers, package weight is not printed as a printed weight, insecticides places near the food items, puff can at pack, or sale of the BBD expired date, package weight, actual weight, stamping of the weighing balance, unauthorized use colors, food license, then storage more amount or quantity that recommended by the law. Date of manufacture is not eligible. All food colors, please. See here, you can see the two pictures where the use by date is there. This use by date is mainly it is for the where the products are shelf life is below 7 days. Then the use by date is required. It is not a best before date like a BBD. If the product shelf life is more than 7 days, then the BBD comes in picture. In the use by date, so you can sell the date only up to that particular date. You cannot sell it after that particular date. You have to print the date as DD MMYY or DD oblique the letters in the month and year. So, use by date is mainly for the short shelf life products like milk, bread, paneer. These type of products that is having the use by date. Next, please. So next, you can see that the packed food with the fungus. Now, many of these products where the little bit of humidity, little bit of moisture is there or humidity is there, if it is not taken care, and if the humidity is high, temperature is high, then because of the moisture, there will be a fungus group inside, or it becomes a bad food. So here you can see the bread and the cake packets are there, and you can see the fungus growth inside, which can be seen from the outside. So now these particular packets are, even though it is below your fungus or anything is there, you have to remove the packet from that from the shelf, from the shelf, because if you sell this type of products, it can be health hazardous for the customer. So you cannot sell this type of product. If it is a problematic, then you can be a punishable under this law. Next please. So now staple foods like your rice, wheat, or lentil, pulses, that is sold in the pack form as well as in the loose form. In the both the cases, if at the time of packing it is not taken care, then the little bit of mm, some of the insect eggs will be there, and when it's packed and when the humidity is on the higher side and the warmth is there, then egg will hatch and there will be a weevils, and these weevils will be seen in the packs also as well as in the loose rice also. So these are problematic, and you cannot sell these type of products, vehicles. If that is seen by the food inspector, you can be punishable under the FSSAI law. Next, please. Now these
Yes,
are
sir.
the some of the insecticides mainly stored it in the many of the stores. They sell the food items. They sell the general atoms also. So these are the insecticides mainly used for the cockroaches, for the mosquitoes, for the bed bugs. These are the insecticides that these are the very poisonous for the human being. So these are kept near the food articles that it can, if it is a leakage is there, then it can be a contaminant to the food. So mainly you should not keep these particular products for the baby product also. Even if it is a not food product, the baby products are, if the contamination is there, then that can be a problematic for the little ones. So for the baby, so you should not keep. You should not keep it in shelvings. You should not keep these articles on the top shelf, because if the leakage is there, it can contaminate to the below products. So many times these products are kept at the bottom levels. You should not keep these products near the open vegetables like potatoes or your onions or spinach or the fenugreek leaves. These type of products you should not keep it nearby, so can be get the contamination with this insecticide products. Next, please. Now, there are some food products which is packed in the cans or in tetra packs or in the some of the airtight containers or packets. So, sometimes you will see that these products are puffed up and they are swollen packets, they are puffed packets, or sometimes the cans are at the both the ends, they are bulged cans. So these are the very problematic and very hazardous packets are there. If it is consumed, then that can be a serious health problem for the consumer, and that can be a life threatening also. So these are mainly problematic because inside there will be a anaerobic organism, and because of the from all the sides it is a packed packet. So these organisms will grow and they will form the new packets or any bulged cans. You should not sell it from your stores, or otherwise it can be a punishable. Next, please. Many times in the stores, what they do that they will keep all the many of the food products for the sell, like a 50% sell or the discount of 70% or 30%. So why this many times this happens? It is not always. Many times, if the BBD date, that is best before date, is nearby. So, for example, BBD date is next month, and today is, if the BBD date is over, then the price of this product will be zero. You cannot sell that product. So what they do that before BBD date, one month or so, they will keep all this product or a sale as a 50% discount. And many times, what they do that they will keep the put the label on the previous manufacturing date. So this should not be there. If it is seen by the food inspector, you are liable for the uh, any of the this problem, any of the punishment under this law, because uh, you should not remove the, or you should not press the any of this second label on the your best before. You can see that it is well within under the BBA or use by date, BBT or use by date. So you can sell the product as per the law. It We should not go away from the laws. Next, please. So many times while you are taking any vegetables, fruits which are in the loose form or loose any staple foods like rice or your pulses, sugar. So these are as per the weighing. So you take the product in the packet, you weigh it, they give you a barcode or that will be scanned, and you give as per the that particular amount. But you as per the government, and as per the government's this legal meteorological law, the weighing balance has to be stamped and has to be checked by the legal meteorology department every year. So when you purchase a new balance, the certification copy of the legal metrology, it is given by the manufacturing company. But after that, every year you have to get it stamped, the weighing balance from a legal metrology department. So they will check the balance and they will give the certification for any of this of the this particular balances, and these balances they will put this they will put the model number, class, serial number, maximum user, what is the differences, and give the certifications also, and what is the next checking date also, that is also given in this. So every year you have to do it religiously. Next slide, please.
Yes, sir.
So many times this product label must be legible, so that its customer must see the label quite clearly. In this slide, on the left hand side, two products. Now the date and manufacturing year you cannot see. You can see only the 2020, that is on left hand side. So from that you don't know that what is a manufacturing date and how many days are over after manufacturing of this food product. On the right hand side, on the bottom line, you can see they have engraved this manufacturing date. That it is 20, you can see 2 and 19. Now it is a base before. So this is the 02 or this is a 12. That is a big problem. So if it is a 9 months, then if it is a 12, that is you can consume it after this. But if it is a 02, that is in February it is manufactured, this is the expired product. So this type of products you cannot keep it on the shelf. If it is a see by the food inspector, you have to convince him, you have to give all the details that you are removing the expired products from the shelf, and you have to show him SOP, what is all things in the masses, and then you can get it from these problems. Next, please. So this particular thing, Kalpesh has item, so I will not take much time on this. Food license is a must. It is a state license. It comes in the C form. So next, please. So all the food products must have it is a must that it has to be labeled. All the pre-packed commodities, food commodity has to be labeled one. So what are the main things in the label? It is the product name, that is here the instant idli mix and product name. Veg non-veg logo. If it is a non-veg product, it's brown logo, or it is a green logo. Manufacturing or marketing unit of importer's license address. So this particular address, if it is a manufacturing unit, your address along with the pin code has to be there. If it is a repacker, that address has to be there. If you are importer, your address along with all the details and the pin code has to be there. Why the pin code is required? Because in India, many places there are the same village name or the same city name. There are two different cities are there, so that the pin code is important to pinpoint the particular address. Customer care number. So that has to be a customer care number, telephone number or mobile number, or and your email ID also. So that this is required because if something goes wrong along with after consumption of this product, that can be well traced and you can get the information from the manufacturing unit that this particular thing has got any allergens or anything is done or any is added or any of this information is, you can check it with them. MRP, maximum retail price, it should be in the rupees, which is included all taxes. Net weight, that can be a kgs or the grams. Then your quantity, that is some products, some food is sold in a number. Now for example, eggs, that is sold in a number. Volumes, that is the milk or the oil, that is in the volume, that is in the liters. And the kgs, it has to be written in the kgs. kg or the grams. If it is below 1 kg, it has to be in grams. Above 1 kg, it has to be in kgs. Then the ingredient list, you have to write down if it is a product. Then you have to write down the descending order percentage of the ingredient list, that E numbers of the some specific additives, specific names of the additives, then the nutritional facts, that energy, protein, fat, carbohydrate has to be there. Then FSSI number from the manufacturer, for the repacker, for the marketing units, lot number or batch number of the particular production batch, because it is required, because if you want to trace back the uh, problem, any of the food problem, then you can trace back, use color information like MHG declaration. If any claims, so for example, cholesterol free or any claims are there, you are making any claim, then you must have the proof, or must have the scientific data. You have to submit it to the FSSAI office, and you can get the details on the any claim. FCC number is a new thing in FSSAI, that food category class number has to be there in the on the top near the product name. Next, please. So, with this label, there is another a act was there, that is called the Essential Commodity Act. It was the like um, your rice or pulses or wheat or onions, that is it comes under the essential commodities. So previously it was there. Then the quantity is retail and wholesalers is a different. It is many states they have removed this particular act, but they can implement this act at the adverse condition when the flood is there, feminine is there is no rains and crop is not there. Then they can, with the government notification, they can give this uh, particular act and essential commodity. So you can also store only, the retailer or wholesaler can store only limited amount of this produce, and whenever that problem is over, then again the government will put the notification and you can go for the normal uh, your quantity. Next, please. Legal methodology. Weights and the act is established and impose standard weights and measure, regulate the trade, commerce in the weights and measures, and other goods which are sold, distributed by weights and measures. For this, the legal methodology is important. For the weights, stamping, balance, weight, and some of the requirement is also are there for the labeling also. The for the weight thing. Next, please. In the legal methodology, when the weighing scale is the stamping gauge, just now we have seen that every year the stamping has to be there, and they will give you the stamping date and plate and documents. If you change a location, if your weighing scale is repaired under repair, then after that you have to also go for the stamping of this weighing scale. Uh, yes, this is also some of the legal methodology requirement. Then if it contains GM, that is modified gene is there, then you have to label as a GM. Biscuit weight, its standard weight is given, so you have to pack with within that particular limits. Baby food has to be labeled differently. All the details guidelines are given. Uh, for the drinking water, even though it comes under the FSSAI, you also have to take the ISMR. Then for oil and ghee and oil, you have to put the what is the seed, that is refined sunflower oil, right? Refined that particular things. And even it is a egg marking is also required for this oil packing. It is a separate legal matter, is a separate uh, another chapter, so I will not go into details. So now everything is, you have the business, you are doing the manufacturing this, and you are doing everything is okay. But every year the food inspector is the inevitable part at FSI. He visits your factory. So what generally he inspects in the visit and how to deal with that. So whenever food inspector is there, if you ask them that what is identity, if you know him, then it's okay. But if you don't know him, you can ask for the identity, because you don't know that he is a food inspector of somebody else. So, but don't ignore this officers, so that किसी के किसी को बोल दिया कि अरे जरा देख लो ऐसा. You don't do that thing. You attempt, be attentive or with the food inspector. Whenever he asks any documents, provide these documents, and only which documents are asked for, that only you provide. Then whenever any SOPs is required, how to deal with your housekeeping in manufacturing unit, housekeeping, or your expiry products, how you record it, how what is the evidence it, what is the documental evidence proof. This proofs are there. You show him, and whenever anything, discuss with him, try to convince him, and get rid. It will be a good set. Or next, please. Or otherwise, what the generally inspector will do, he will take the three samples. For generally it is a 500 gram in triplicate. If it is a store, he will take the three samples. One will go for, as a reference sample, one is for the testing, one is for you. Then the for the testing sample, he will seal the samples. Along with that, he will give the letter, and it will go for the testing at the for the public food analyst. The reference sample, you have to keep the samples as a reference. Or if anything is required, then he can send this second sample. And whatever the third sample is there with you, you can keep the sample till you get the result of the sample. If the sample is failed, then you can also ask for the second testing, and you can get the results. So, but keep the samples proper temperature, proper humidity, proper conditions. Next, please.